Hi. Today we're going to talk about reps in Candid, what they are, how to add them, and what to do when you are a rep or are managing a rep. There's a couple different types of rep. A rep, just for a vocab check, is a sales representative who is authorized to sell your product but is not a part of your company. And as such, you generally want to give them slightly different permissions and have a slightly different workflow than if they were directly at the company. For instance, you might have a territorial sales rep who you just want to be able to write orders, but maybe there's a couple of them and you don't want to see what the other ones are up to. You can do that in Candid. On the other end of the spectrum, maybe you run a showroom and you actually have like admin authority over multiple brands. So you need to be able to switch back and forth between their accounts, keep the orders straight, and effectively act as that company. Candid is set up to handle both types of rep, and we're going to go through both of those today from both the rep's perspective and from the brand's perspective. So to get started, the first question is, how do I add a rep? There's not actually a button for adding a rep directly in Candid. So what you're going to want to do is head down to the corner where your settings are, and you're going to go to Contact Us, click on that, and say, I need to add a rep. Hi. And then you send the message in, and someone will get back to you during business hours, probably right away, because it's a manual process. And because we're adding someone to your account who's not a member of your company, we need to make absolutely sure that we're not letting people just do that on their own. So once that happens, we will then ask a couple of questions, which you'll need to answer for each rep that you have. Essentially, one, do you want your reps to have access to everyone's orders or just their own? As we talked about earlier, there's a couple different ways to set it up, and there's no right answer here, but depending on what you want, you will either have a rep who has sort of full super admin powers or one that just is able to look at their own orders. The second question is a little more in the weeds, but do you want this rep to catch first-time orders by default? So you can set, as we're going to show, you can set the default rep for a customer relationship in the CRM within Candid. But for those orders you get where they haven't met you yet, you don't know who's going to get them, you can have them either go to the rep or the main company. So those are the two questions to answer. And once we have that information, we'll just need a name, an email, and a company, and we'll be able to get the reps added and created and linked to your account. So now I'm back in my HQ. I'm the seller here, Handwoven Industries, and let's pretend we already added the reps and I'm now able to manage them. The way to do that is to go into Customers, and I can start looking, and right away you can see I've already been here. My rep company, Sugar Baker and Associates, has all these different customers assigned to them. If I want to change that for anyone, like let's go into Architress, I get down here, their assigned rep. The default is Sugar Baker and Associates, but I can assign them back to myself, thereby bumping Sugar Baker out so that they can no longer manage this relationship. I'm not going to do that, but that's something I could do. Within these customers, you can quickly, once you have them set up, you can very quickly search and filter by the default assigned rep. In this case, we don't have a lot. I think they're all, I got one. Garfield is here with Handwoven. I think everybody else is going to be with Sugar Baker. And as we look through here, that's pretty much what you're going to see here in Brandland. All right, so to illustrate what we mean by that only seeing your own orders security setting, I'm here as Handwoven Industries, and I have created two orders with the same customer, test just for me and test for rep. If you go into these orders, you'll go over to details, and you'll see down here that the assigned rep for this one is Handwoven Industries, whereas the assigned rep for this one is Sugar Baker and Associates. Because this customer, Candid Retail, has been assigned to Sugar Baker and Associates, it defaults to Sugar Baker and Associates. But you as the brand are able to reassign orders as needed because sometimes you just need to. What this means is that you get to see both of these test orders, whereas if I log into the rep account, they only see test for rep. They don't get the other one. This can be important because for whatever reason, you don't necessarily want to see people seeing each other's orders. If you want to cut the orders up that way, you absolutely can. And that's one of those settings that we do initially at rep setup for you. Another crucial feature when you're working with reps is the ability to share catalog links that are unique to that rep. You can have all sorts of reasons for doing this. You might want to have a different product offering for each rep. If they're territorial, you might want to have a different currency for that rep. You can do so via the catalog manager. So over here, we've got a bunch of different catalogs that offer a different selection of products. And we have a bunch of different catalog sets, which is, everybody starts out with one, but you can effectively have multiple groupings of these catalogs for those situations I just described, multiple currencies, different offerings. And what you can do is once you as the brand are in the catalog builder, when it comes time to share the catalog, instead of just copying a link, this launches a slightly more sophisticated builder. And so what that means is you get to choose which rep company it is. If it's just you, you pick none, and that's your own link. But if you want to share a link from your rep, you can do that, and it adds all sorts of stuff to the link that enables you to track it and make sure that they're seeing the right one. Similarly, you can pick the different catalog. I think for this one, we're going to want to stick with just the normal one and copy the catalog URL. And so what that means is that then when you share this link, it will show that it was from that rep, and it will show the products and the prices that have been assigned to that rep's catalogs. For a lot of people, it's all the same for everybody, but if you need this level of flexibility, we have that, and it's very easy to do. Now let's take a look at what Candid looks like when you are a rep. It's basically the same as the seller experience with a couple of key differences. One is you've got this client switcher up top on the HQ, and you'll see this at various other pages throughout the app. This lets you switch who you're acting as. The default is yourself, Sugar Baker and Associates in this case, the rep company, but you can easily switch clients, and it will update the corner icon here so that when you hover, it will show you who you're acting as, in this case, Handwoven Industries. This will also let you quickly create new orders, view sales reports, and that sort of thing as that company. A couple of other notes here. You on the HQ can filter through all your clients at any time. So if you just want to see these orders with this company, looks like there aren't any. They're all handwoven at the moment. Let's take a look. If we go to company tape mix and we go to their sales, we'll see a different list of orders here versus switching back to handwoven. We now see all the handwoven orders here. We tried to do a thoughtful job of picking where you see everything versus where you see just the one company. If you're a rep that's just with a single company, this doesn't really matter. It'll all look the same to you, but this is the full tour in case you are managing multiple brands through Candid. If we go to customers, we will now see a similar view to what we saw when we were the company Handwoven Industries with a couple of key differences. When we're here, like let's look at this company record. Looks like Handwoven Industries has the access. I don't have the ability as a rep to set the access, nor do I have the ability to set these orders that I'm not supposed to be looking at. Same with Garfield. Contact Handwoven Industries for access, contact Handwoven Industries for access. This is important because you want your reps to know who's in your system and who's already being talked to, so they don't accidentally do cold outreach to someone who is already in the system, but not necessarily see the order history there. Now, if I go to somewhere like Candid Retail, where I do know I have access, it'll show that I'm the assigned rep here, and I can go down and I can see the various orders that I'm authorized to see. Similarly, when we go to the catalog, it's going to be a similar experience here where we get access to all the different catalog options, but when it comes time to share a catalog, we can't pick which rep company is assigned. It will just show the one that I have access to because I am the rep here. And that's the high-level view of reps. Hopefully it answers some questions. If you have any more, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here and happy to help you get going. Thanks.